So, this is a kind of unexpected stream. I know I normally do Sundays at 10, but I slept in, and then I was a little bit busy this morning. But I figured we'd try a noon thing. Let's see what's going on. So, probably take a little longer for people to get in here because it wasn't scheduled, if anything happens at all, but we'll give it a shot. That being said, quick disclaimer while we wait for people to get here. I am not a medical professional. Nothing I say is intended as health advice. Any major changes you make to your diet or any other aspect of your lifestyle, something you check with a doctor with before enacting in your own life. I am also not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is a recommendation for investment. Thirdly, I'm a law-abiding citizen. Nothing I say is a admission of guilt. And lastly, but not least, all opinions are my own and no way affiliated with YouTube or any other network you may be viewing this on in the future. All that being said, make sure that you are subscribed. There's a 5-minute delay on subscriber-only chat for these streams. And turn on notifications because I don't always advertise when I'm going to do something like today. So if you don't have the bell on, you might be missing out on some random streams. And sometimes the random streams are the best. I don't know if today's going to be one of those days, but it's a travel day for me. I got to check out of my spot today and on to a new location. So we'll see what's going on. It looks like we got 4 people here, but maybe these 4 people weren't subscribed before. So make sure you subscribe so you can chat. And I'm open to taking questions whenever somebody's ready to ask one. That being said, yeah, got some new things in the works. We are going to be doing some more serious traveling. Not to say that I haven't been doing some traveling, but I've been in the States for a while, and I will be exiting the States soon. I think by January, I'll be out of here. So I'm going to be working on my Espanol. If anyone feels like practicing Spanish with me at some point, you can hit me up on Instagram in the DMs. And if you're a respectful person and bilingual, I would be happy to have some Spanish tutoring as well, since I will be returning to Latin America in January. I'm not going to give the specifics just yet, but Latin America is coming in hot. And that's what I got going on. Looks like we got a little thing going on. We got 19 people. I'm assuming this is just from the live feed, so nobody's probably able to chat yet. Most people just left, and they figured out they had to wait 5 minutes. But we're going to hope that one of my regulars pops in here and asks something substantial before I get bored talking to myself. I'm trying to think of something to say here, but I didn't really plan on a stream today. It's been I've been focusing on my love life lately, so that's not really anything I like to talk about online. So I'm unprepared at this moment, but the spiritual wisdom is always here for you fine people whenever you need it. You can always come in, ask a question. I'll do my best to answer from the, part of me that knows things intuitively, which the rest of me does not. I got to give it at least 5 minutes for the people that came in right in the beginning, in case they weren't subscribed, because they could have came from Instagram. We're at 450 right now, so we're going to see what's up. I'm giving this a short go. We might be on this might be a a blank today though, because it's not my usual time, and I forgot to schedule it ahead of time, and I forgot to advertise it, so we shall see. But I'm having a good morning, in case anyone was wondering. I'm, you know. Okay, we passed the 5 minutes thing, so hopefully we'll get some chat here soon. But yeah, we're just out here having a little nature vibes. Okay, we're going on 6 minutes, you guys. Oh, there we go. Do I smoke CBD weed? No, I don't smoke anything. I mean, I used to smoke like high-THC weed for a long time. But I've been like dabbling with sobriety for a couple years now, and I haven't smoked any type of weed or anything else in a little over a month right now. I wasn't really smoking heavy or anything before that, but I did partake at a family event about a month ago, so I had to reset my clock on that. But I've been even giving up coffee, caffeine. I'm like into the pure life, you know what I'm saying? I'm high on the sun and the earth and my woman, you know what I'm saying? Have I quit the adult film industry? Oh, by the way, hello, James Ritchie. Thank you for being the first chatter, even if it was about weed. And Kay got this, so Sway. Thank you for also asking a question, getting this chat going on. Sway says, hi, Bruce, have you quit the adult industry? And I would say yeah. I mean, there's like one producer maybe that I would probably work for that I know, if they wanted me to. But, you know, it's not important enough to me to work in the adult industry to like, you know, maim my nervous system by plucking my eyebrows or whatever. So I'm not really stuck on that, which I think is the major holdup there. But I am making content with my girlfriend, some really beautiful, romantic, and real stuff, trying to, you know, put something positive out into the world and show people how to, you know, properly love a woman in an intimate manner. So I don't know if that's actually considered the adult industry or adult film industry, because I don't really film for production companies and stuff like that anymore. I'm more just kind of sharing my life now, my spiritual insights and whatnot. So I guess it really just depends how you want to look at it, you know. I'm like, you know, spirituality is really my main focus in life, but you know, love is like a really central part of spirituality. And you know, even going a bit farther, I'm kind of, you know, dabbling in the esoteric and tantric methods. Not to say that I'm foregoing my own methods for the sake of anyone else's methods, but the knowledge and the insight that comes from tantric yoga and whatnot kind of sometimes helps me find the verbiage for explaining some of the things which I have learned on my own, in my own experiences with you know, sexual interactions with women and whatnot. So I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly how consistent I can be with using my own body to awaken the Kundalini in another body, which is, for those who don't know what Kundalini is, it's a sexual force, right, which lays dormant in the sacrum. And by causing a Kundalini awakening, which I like to think of as like a spinal gasm, right, like an orgasm of the spine, that if you're able to get that spinal gasm to raise all the way up the spine and into the brain, this is what is known as a Kundalini awakening. At least this is the way I look at it, right? And through causing a Kundalini awakening, you cause a complete nervous system overhaul, where your body starts rebuilding itself and innervating parts of your body, in a very aggressive way. And it awakens up dormant neurons in the brain and makes connections between the cerebellum and other areas of the body, and so on and so forth, right? And this is a path to enlightenment, right? So, that's kind of where I'm at in life with my career and whatnot. I wouldn't even call it career, but rather I am, trying to awaken people using sexual energy, be it physically or simply through a direct energy transmission, or just through insight and knowledge and teaching. And that's kind of what I'm into nowadays. Welcome, Brenda Vlogs. Bless you as well. Relenos, love you too. And Just Marie says, my friend turned Christian. There's a lot happening to him, but one profound thing is the Holy Spirit. I wonder if you've ever looked into that, if you can make sense of it from my perspective. The Holy Spirit is divine intuition, right? It's what happens when your body starts tapping into the source. There's nothing new under the sun, right? And so there's some changes that come along with the spiritual process and that bring peace and release from fear or liberation, whatnot. And people who are into Christianity and religion tend to try to define that as things like the Holy Spirit or whatnot, because that's what they've been indoctrinated to think of it as. But you don't really need a religion to tap into that energy, nor do you really need a definition. You see what I'm saying? Because that which is the highest of the high, the greatest of the great, the purest of the pure, the most virtuous of virtues, is truly beyond words. And so while we could look into religion as a way to try to define that which is beyond words, what we are really doing with religion is that we are relying upon the experience that somebody else had to explain an experience that we had, which is beyond definition and beyond words. So, one simple way of doing that is to use well-known words like the Holy Spirit. But, as they say in the Tao created one created two created three, and three created a myriad of things. And the Holy Spirit is one aspect of the three, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So when we focus on only one aspect of the three, rather than the three, all three, the two, the one, and that which is beyond definition, we get ourselves locked into a partial understanding of the whole, right? And that just because something can't be put into words and cannot be described does not mean it can't be understood, because it can be experienced. right? And so I'm happy for your friend because, one step in understanding the three is to understand one of the three, right? And the Holy Spirit is an aspect of that. So, that is a thing. Let's see. Releno says he's one of my biggest fans. Watched one of my scenes this morning and is obsessed with me. Well, there could be worse things you could be obsessed with. I suppose we all have our vices, and if I'm your vice, so be it. But this is actually a very interesting part of the process, or should I say my own personal technique for bringing spirituality into people's lives who need it. So you see, by watching my other work, and even, as you say, obsessing over it, which is a fairly lustful act, you have now found yourself back to this YouTube where I'm talking about things and concepts like Taoism and the Holy Spirit and so on and so forth. And so, as you can all see, my method is working perfectly. And happy to have you here, Relano. Privet, Anna. Good to see you. Long time no see. JB Weld shot me $5 for the eyebrow waxer, and I can assure you, I maimed my nervous system for many years, and it's a completely conscious act, and it took me a lot of work to grow this brow to the state that it's in right now. In fact, it was quite sparse in the middle for about a year, which looked much worse due to the constant plucking and maiming of those nerves for so many years. But it's finally starting to recover, and I've almost filled it in entirely, so I do appreciate the donation. But I'm good. I'm very good, very conscious, and very aware of what I'm doing. In fact, if I would pluck this eyebrow, it would be worth a substantial amount of money to me on a daily basis, because it would allow me to go back to my old job, which doesn't want me because of the eyebrow. So not only is it a conscious decision, it's a conscious sacrifice of material wealth, which doesn't matter to me at all. Is there any other questions that anyone would like to talk about? Because I actually feel like we did pretty good for a 17-minute unscheduled stream. We got to talk about the Holy Spirit. I made $5, and we're doing well. Any last minute questions, you guys? Shoot them if you got them. This is your last chance. I'm going in. I got a hottie patati in the kitchen right now. She's looking at me. She's calling me. She's calling me in, you guys. I might have to do it. Oh, shit. She's coming to get me. You guys, I might have to go. What am I supposed to do? Uh-oh. Oh, my. You guys, I gotta go. What? I think I do. Oh, shit. Somebody is having a demon attack? Damn it. Okay, 1 second. I'll address the demon attack because this is like one of my specialties. Let me have this little yogurt real quick. Very good. Just me says he also says a lot of things like are actual demons, like having a bad thought is a demon attack. He can actually see them sometimes. I wonder if that's something fear-induced or if it is actually... I mean, it's definitely a good way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the demon... I actually approve of the definition of the demon attack. Because... And most people don't aware that they're possessed by demons, right? But, like, if you have that little voice in your head telling you to do weird shit, right? Or showing you weird images or anything like that, right? That's a demon, right? Like, that actually exists in another plane of dimension, you know? So, you know, you gotta... most people think that they got to fight their demons, and that's one way to look at it. You can fight your demons. This is something that we do using morals, right? Ultimately, we want to be a virtuous person, because virtuous people don't attract demons to begin with, right? Through having virtue, you put up a shield against all demons, right? But if you're not quite there yet, to where your true virtue is dialed in, then what you can do, right, is you can battle the demons using moral principles, right? Where you create a moral code, right, which allows you to resist the demon's temptation, right? Now, you could also go another step further, right, where you could become the master of the demons, where the demons no longer do whatever they wish, but they work for you, right? And that's ultimately like the highest of the high methods, right? Unless you become such a virtuous being that the demons are just, they perish just from being within the realm of your light, that they can't take it, and they just kind of scatter. And then you might still end up with spiritual ego and things that come into your life, and these things can look differently, sound differently, have different ways of thinking, but they can be quite powerful beings as well. So you have to learn to differentiate between demons and other types of beings and angels and whatnot. But I think your friend's on a good track. You know what I'm saying? So, you can send him to this stream, let him watch this stream. Maybe it can give him like another way of thinking about it. But yes, if you're dealing with demons, if you have voices in your head or things showing you weird images and stuff like that, it's definitely good to first start with a moral code, which allows you to resist the demons. Then work on your personal virtue, right? And try to embrace a life of virtue, right? And then if you become strong enough, you can try to master the demons. You see what I'm saying? Anna says, I've lost weight, and my weight fluctuates a lot from fasting and whatnot. Joshua Samuel says, bro, what are you talking about? I was answering the question about demons. Just Marie says, is that a perfectly normal thing if you're progressing spiritually, that they start targeting you like crazy? No, it's not that. It's that they're targeting everybody, but most people are unaware of it. They think that the demons are them. You see what I'm saying? Like, most people actually think that they themselves, like that's a voice in their head, they think that's them. But it's just that they've completely and totally been taken over by the demon, that they don't know that they're possessed by demons. You see what I'm saying? They think that this is all just a part of their like mental state. This is why a lot of people they get possessed by demons and they go to like a psychologist. They end up on pills and all kinds of weird shit that actually stops them from progressing spiritually, right? But yeah, the more connected you are, you know what I'm saying, the more present you become on like the astral plane, for example, and the more you might attract demons and whatnot. Because like, for example, if you dream a lot, every time you dream, you're going to the astral plane, right? But it's like, what kind of dreams are you having? Are you having fucking amazing, awesome dreams of splendid things? Or are you having like low vibrational, like fear-based dreams? Like in the lower astral plane, right? And so it's like, but you could take some pills and whatever, you'll stop dreaming altogether. And then in this way, you're dimming your connection, and so they can't get through to you as much, right? Because they don't have physical bodies. They're trying to take over your body. So it's normal. It's normal. He's coming up. He's getting there. Send him to this stream. Tell him to come talk to me. I got him. I got the medicine. Am I on drugs? I'm not on drugs. I'm not drugs. Joshua Samuel wants to share his wisdom with us. So share your wisdom with us, Joshua Samuel. He says, you said work on sexual energy, and that's not the highest, bud. Well, tell me, what is share your wisdom with us, Josh. This is your moment. I'll give you a moment to type. I know it's a little harder to type than it is to just talk freely. So I'm gonna eat my yogurt for a second. You can share your wisdom. I'm sure it's something from the Bible or whatnot, right? Perhaps you can read us some Psalms or something. Nestor, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you always. You can stage it out into multiple pieces if you want. Okay, Joshua doesn't want to share his wisdom with us. Okay, you guys, listen. I gotta go work on my sexual energy, and I haven't taken a shower yet or nothing, so I'm gonna do that, and then I gotta check out of this Airbnb. So I love you all very much. I hope this was a useful talk. I hope that you guys can all resist the demons out there and operate with moral and embrace virtue in your life. And this is Bruce signing out. Peace.